I do not know how long this vague feeling of, not feeling too bad is going to last. So I'm going to launch into the MSQ whilst I've got a vague amount of energy and see how far I can get. The Royal Invitation. This is a pleasure as always, Demagen. Have you been able to relax lately? No. No, I have not. Thumbs up. Wonderful. As busy as you have been with the rite of succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliola's more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Spazribra is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner bookkeeper will look after you. Okay. But we've been here before as part of the MSQ, haven't we? Well, if it isn't Demagen. Alone today, are you? No, the corn servant should be with me. There he is. I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Tracking down those treasures. Is that a reference to the role quest stuff? Is it assumed that we will have done the role quest? Is that dialogue different if we haven't done any role quests? Also, aren't there new role quests? No, they're coming in a smaller patch soon. No, don't run away when I want to pet you, corn servant. An empty seat. Tacos are tasty, except that one on the right, which would kill me. Well, kill me is maybe a strong word. Maybe cause my body to kill itself, what with the whole not being able to breathe thing. Onion allergy. Not fun. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5 you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right. Sorry, it's still strange for me too. Just the other day you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yasulani. And now you're a man grown with a full face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Oh, that must be hard. Relying. Feels like the only thing I am doing right now, on you and everyone else. I can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here, I'm helpless. Culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children. I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate. I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. Ah, what a harsh situation. Oh no! I mean, hello. I didn't mean to overhear. It seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolal. Klimat? Nod. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It's easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out. I'll bring my family with me, thank you. Bye! Oh, look who it is. I was just about to go and find you, Demagen. Oh, good. Oh, shite. I didn't think I'd clicked, and I had clicked, and I missed whatever that said. Does it tell me in the... You don't mind the company, I hope? I could use a bite to eat myself. You're forgetting that you can do that. Ah, the tacos here never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? Well, we went to Halatali, which is slightly different to what it was, but not much. We went on a trip through the realms of nostalgia and helped Bakul Jar and the citizens of Mamook, and yeah, we've done some stuff. Oh, and we did the Arcadian, technically. I've been working to recover some stolen artifacts. I've been exploring Taral with my trusty alpaca. I have actually been working to recover some stolen artifacts. I've been reviewing reports from the Landsguard. With my responsibilities, I'm not in a position to chase criminals abroad, so I needed someone else to take care of the matter. I'm glad that someone's you. As for myself, I'm being kept busy with duties at the palace. Whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Because there's a world-ending... Oh, no. Kona and I have something we wish to discuss with you as Dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. She's got, you know, messengers, but she sends herself, because of course she does. Some people dislike that. I find it particularly endearing. Different strokes for different narrative folks. I really cannot help myself when it comes to coming along to this music. Is it you I'm talking to? No. It's been a while since I've been to the palace. I really need to set this up so I can turn this all off when I'm not in combat. I do not need all of these gauges. Probably either there is a setting or I can find something that can do it. Oh, it seems Kona's gone somewhere, sorry. This is Demagen. It is always an honour. Now Kona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long. Oh, hey guys. What powers those doors? Or do they have to just keep them incredibly well oiled? This is the question I ask in all games with big doors. I mean, at least in like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff, it's like that your protagonist is clearly having to exert quite a lot of effort to open them. Oh, you're all here too? Why is she surprised by this? Did she not send for them, or did Kona send for them? Or they just randomly appeared? Ah, there you go. How Kona summoned us. No, if truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hannish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him, because we are workaholics. Kyle and I were likewise summoned, otherwise we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. Without our report, we shall finish what he started. So at about the same time the Crystal War was happening. We found a deal. Well, no, because that's not how the timelines line up. That's a very muted smile, Dema. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Taral. Each Stola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. Oh yes, I bet she does. There's the face that says yes, we know. And that little smirk. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself when she comes calling. I'd like to be stuck with her for a while. As for Stinian, we know neither where he is nor what he's doing. Some things never change. Here be Kona. My apologies for the delay. Not at all. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. No, you guys are not what I require. The matter wrong voice. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. That's Alphina's voice. Whatever. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sveen. King Gululjar and his administration have invited us to attend. Funerals. Great. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yasolani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honoured. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. Did we have any indications in FF9 of what Alexandrian funeral stuff was like? I don't know whether we did. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Yeah. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Gululjar, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than... That's a really weird sentence. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. That's a really weird sentence. I'm going because I stabbed her in the face with a scythe. And I feel like I should. Also, I'm the protagonist. Well, I mean, I'm a protagonist. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. And that's not a burden you bear alone. Indeed. Here's my idea. As Val, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliolol. Meanwhile, you can go into personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. Sure. This is a very solemn-faced Demagogue. I'm not used to it. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others. So let us stand with you. I mean, Yeah. I mean, diplomatically, it's actually a really weird situation, isn't it? You know, we did help the people of Alexandria when the king turned on them, but equally, we did kill their queen. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Galulja in the back room. Let's go now, in fact. Kona? Huh. Crossroads. That was an interesting little transition, wasn't it? I like the little etherite crystal in the A as well. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it best that Lamity represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When that work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. To have Father's throne here still makes me feel he is close by. Quite happy for it to remain for a while. Yeah, there's space enough for... You could shunt it back slightly and just have you two, because your legs aren't anywhere near as long. Imogen thinking practically. Hey Shale. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who rued the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful for their foresight. Geode? It's good of you to come. We're expecting a large attendance for the funeral. The venue isn't likely to hold everyone at once. The altar will remain for those who couldn't be present during the ceremony. We ourselves plan to go and pay our respects afterwards. Henalt, have you got anything? Hey, you ever heard of the Redina Consortium? Absolutely can't stand that lot, let me tell you. That's why I gave the Nexus Arcade a wide berth. Even the residential district's too close for me liking, so I just crashed here. I don't think that's even vaguely related dialogue-wise, but... Hi, Galulja. How you diddling? Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though the others will watch over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shale is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I've bought you gâteau au chocolat. It's the kind of cake I think you'll like. Thank you, Lamity. And thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Shale is very pretty. Considering that all the world used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Galulja has been added to the unending codex, and he shall not be able to escape. Okay. Ali. It's a relief to see that Galulja even is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion's come a long way. For the people to take it on themselves to organise and hold the funeral, this speaks to their enduring love for Sphene. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. wonder their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. Although I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Of course you would. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I'd like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. Alexandria Mourns. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gossan, who is apparently Sven's aide and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Well, it appears souls are still being issued. Supply must be limited now that they're no longer being harvested. Grim faces in the queue will tell the tale. No, tell the tale. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. Makes sense that Sven had a loyal aide such as Gussan, given how much time she dedicated to walking among the people. Uclimat's attendance will surely help strengthen relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliolal and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. Oral correspondence was being handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gossan. Here he is, Gossan! Still surprised we haven't had a regulator accessory. Why, I am Val Wuklimat of Tuliolal. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sven's funeral. Oh, we are honoured, truly. I had seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I am Gossan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering, even, because reading is hard, affairs of state. /bow. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured they are not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in the Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same colour. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sven. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. It is a sizable plaza. I was expecting it to be more kind of NPCs just dotted around. Just to give it a little bit of kind of that pre-celebration, pre-gathering life. There we go. All with the same model so that they don't take up too much memory. Now, what's going to happen here? We do have some different models in the foreground.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies?
Yeah, that's a decent effort in a creaky old engine such as this to be able to show a considerable number of people.
You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together. Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow.
It would arguably be a little bit...
Would that I could find solace in my own words.
It would arguably be a little bit cliche if something were to interrupt the funeral. It would be a bit tropey, would it not? Would that it could have transpired differently.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what a strange upheaval this must be for them. You know, regardless of what you think of the actual nature of what the Alexandrians did, you know, it is literally all people like this kid have known.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
It's just...
But what will happen to us? they just going to be sad forever?
They've never had to experience loss. They've never had to develop the emotional maturity, essentially. The
What will happen indeed?
fortitude.
Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
And Vieira is picking up all of these conversations. Hi, I killed your queen.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
Yeah, you can't just flick a switch and turn off your feelings. Well, I mean,
As
they
expected,
did.
they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
Oh, they need a crisis to,
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead?
Of course, we've all got our own biases for this because of the very nature of how we as, the player have had no choice, realistically, in this. We are stuck with our memories of the departed. And that goes some way to giving us that same feeling that our protagonists, the Scions and Buklamat and Co, the Tuliolans are going through the same thing. It's all we've ever known, and therefore it's difficult to comprehend what it might be like for the Alexandrians. Not impossible, but pushing aside your own experiences is challenging for something like this.
I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts.
Time. You haven't had it yet.
It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad.
Sadness makes you stronger.
But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
And we still don't know anything about her either.
I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
They'll zoom in on the regulators there. The comfort that they provided. Well, no. They didn't provide comfort, did they? They provided ignorance. Not maliciously, but ignorance nonetheless. And as the saying goes, ignorance is... Seeing that child reminded me of myself, of how hard it was for me to accept that grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far. I'd never choose to forget it. Never. I hope the altar can provide comfort to those who need it. Seems a good place to continue our conversation. Why, Kryl? Why this space in particular? Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. Hey, Galulja? Do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Shale searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamulja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Ah. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Do you want to know your mother? I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. If I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. Let's see. Well, if that's what you want, we'll help you find her. And I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. You don't speak for me, Kryl. Yes, she does. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. Ah, we came not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. One of the biggest complaints about the narrative of 7.0 that I have heard, didn't particularly bother me, but I have heard, is that people didn't like that we didn't see Zeralja go from pissed off at losing the right of succession to 30 years later, by his time, invading. We didn't see that character arc, and I'm wondering if this was by design. Because, realistically speaking, if you had seen that, it would have slowed down the narrative, and it would have spoiled the surprise even more than Square Enix did themselves in their marketing by showing us Heritage Found, which I'm still a little bit pissed off about. Well, quite a lot pissed off about. I think that was a massive misstep. You know, all of this, you know, Heritage Found, Solution 9, this could all have been just what the beep surprise moment, but instead they spoiled it in the marketing, and I don't think they should have done. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the change in Zeralja, the mystery of Galulja's mother, I kind of assumed that they would touch on at some point. But no, assumed actually probably isn't the right word. Hoped is the right word. I hoped that it would be something that they wouldn't just leave. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't serve the narrative. It's like, I'd hoped that the reason that they had introduced this mystery was because they were going to follow up on it. But of course, I've seen a lot of people saying that the story for Dawntrail was written by the B team. You know, the story for Dawntrail was written by inexperienced writers and so on and so forth. It's like, is that the case, or is it... I mean, there could very well be some inexperienced writers on the writing team, I don't know. But, you know, Shadowbringers and Endwalker were always going to be a tough act to follow, narratively speaking, especially with a soft reset needed. How much you can cram into an expansion and not slow the pace down. I've seen people complaining about the pace of Dawntrail. Wasn't an issue for me, but in one voice. So I just hoped that, you know, they would come back to this, and it seems like we might get a little bit of that, the missing links over those 3 days between, you know, the dome appearing and so on and so forth. And they can use the mysteries and the conflicts of that time to further the plot. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Alexandria Mourns. Right, time for my first break. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.